Hey guys, welcome back to First Chapter Friday again. I am really excited about our book that we are going to be jumping into a little bit, reading a little bit of today. It's called One of Us is Lying, written by Karen McManus. And basically, it's about high school gossip, drama, and one of them is lying, and it's up to you to try to figure out who it is. Pretty cool. The genre is more of like a thriller mystery type book. And I'm going to start chapter 1 today. It seems to me like the chapters are broken up into different people. So I'm going to read just the first. I think it just talks about like that person and what they have going on in their own personal life. Yeah, let's get started. The first person we're going to read is named Brownwen, and it is a girl. So let's go ahead. Chapter 1, Brownwen, Monday, September 24th, 2:55 p.m. A pregnancy scare and 2 cheating scandals. And that's just this week's update. If all you knew of Bayview High was Simon Keller's gossip app, you'd wonder how anyone found time to go to class. Old news, Brownwen, says a voice over my shoulder. Wait until you see tomorrow's post. Dang. I hate getting caught reading about that, especially by its creator. I lower my phone and slam my locker shut. Whose lives are you ruining next, Simon? Simon falls into step beside me as I move against the flow of students heading for the exit. It's a public service, he says with a dismissive wave. You tutor Reggie Crawley, don't you? Wouldn't you rather know that he has a camera in his bedroom? I don't bother answering. Me getting anywhere near the bedroom of perpetual stoner Reggie Crawley is about as likely as Simon growing a conscience. Anyway, they bring it on themselves. If people didn't lie and cheat, I'd be out of business. Simon's cold blue eyes take in my lengthening strides. Where are you rushing off to? Covering yourself in extracurricular glory? I wish. As if to taunt me, an alert crosses my phone. Mathlete practice, 3 p.m. Epcot coffee. Followed by a text from one of my teammates. Evan's here. Of course he is. The cute mathlete, less of an oxymoron than you think. Seems to only ever show up when I can't. Not exactly, I say as a general rule, and especially lately, I try to give Simon as little information as possible. We push through the green metal doors to the back stairwell, a dividing line between the dinginess of the original Bayview High and its bright, airy new wing. Every year, more wealthy families get priced out of San Diego and come 15 miles east to Bayview, expecting that their tax dollars will buy them a nicer school experience than the popcorn ceilings and scarred linoleum. Simon's still on my heels when I reach Mr. Avery's lab on the 3rd floor, and I half turn with my arms crossed. Don't you have some place to be? Yeah, detention, Simon says, and waits for me to keep walking. When I grasp the knob instead, he bursts out laughing. You're kidding, you two. What's your crime? I'm wrongfully accused, I mutter, and yank the door open. 3 other students are already seated, and I pause to take them in. Not the group I would have predicted, except one. Nate McCauley tips his chair back and smirks at me. You make a wrong turn? This is detention, not student council. He should know. Nate's been in trouble since 5th grade, which is right around the time we last spoke. The gossip mill tells me he's on probation with Bayview's finest for something. It might be a DUI. It might be drug dealing. He's a notorious supplier, but my knowledge is purely theoretical. Save the commentary, Mr. Avery checks something off his clipboard and closes the door behind Simon. High arched windows lining the back wall send triangles of afternoon sunlight splashing across the floor, and faint sounds of football practice float from the field behind the parking lot below. I take a seat as Cooper Clay, who's palming a crumbled piece of paper like a basketball, whispers, "Heads up, Addie," and tosses it toward the girl across from him. Addie Prentice blinks, smiles uncertainly, and lets the ball drop on the floor. The classroom clock inches toward 3, and I follow its progress with a helpless feeling of injustice. I shouldn't be here. I should be at Epcot Coffee, flirting awkwardly with Evan Neiman over differential equations. Mr. Avery is a give a detention first, ask questions later kind of guy. Maybe there's still some time to change his mind. I clear my throat and start to raise my hand until I notice Nate's smirk broadening. Mr. Avery, that wasn't my phone you found. I don't know how it got in my bag. This is mine, I say, brandishing my iPhone in its melon-striped case. Honestly, you'd have to be clueless to bring a phone to Mr. Avery's lab. He has a strict no-phone policy and spends the first 10 minutes of every class rooting through backpacks like he's the head of airline security and we're on the watch list. My phone was in my locker like always. You too? Addie turns to me so quickly, her blonde, shampooed hair swirls around her shoulders. She must have been surgically removed from her boyfriend in order to show up alone. That wasn't my phone either. Me three, Cooper chimes in. His southern accent makes it sound like Thray. He and Addie exchange surprised looks, and I wonder how this is news to them when they're part of the same clique. Maybe uber popular people have better things to talk about than unfair detentions. Somebody punked us! Simon leans forward with his elbows on the desk, looking like spring-loaded and ready to pounce on fresh gossip. His gaze darts over all four of us, clustered in the middle of the otherwise empty classroom before settling on Nate. Why would anyone want to trap a bunch of students with mostly spotless records in detention? Seems like some sort of thing that, I don't know, a guy who's in here all the time might do for fun. I look at Nate, but I can't picture it. Ringing detention sounds like work, and everything about Nate, from his messy, dirty hair to his ratty leather jacket, seems can't be bothered. Screams can't be bothered, or yawns it, maybe. He meets my eyes, but doesn't say a word, just tips his chair back even further, another millimeter, and he might fall over. Cooper sits up straighter, a frown crossing his Captain America face. Hang on. I thought this was just a mix-up, but if the same thing happened to all of us, it's somebody's stupid idea of a prank, and I'm missing basketball practice because of it. He says it like he's a heart surgeon being detained from a life-saving operation. Mr. Avery rolls his eyes. Save the conspiracy theories for another teacher. I'm not buying it. You know the rules against bringing phones to class, and you broke them. He gives Simon an especially sour glance. Teachers know about that exists, but there's not much they can do to stop it. Simon only uses initials to identify people and never talks openly about it in school. Now listen up. You're here until 4, and I want each of you to write a 500-word essay on how technology is ruining American high schools. Anyone who can't follow the rules gets another detention tomorrow. What do we write with? Addie says. There aren't any computers here. Most classrooms have Chromebooks, but Mr. Avery, who looks like he should have retired a decade ago, is a holdout. Mr. Avery crosses to Addie's desk and taps the corner of a yellow-lined notepad. We all have one. Explore the magic of longhand writing. It's a lost art. Addie's pretty heart-shaped fat face is a mask of confusion. But how do we know if we've reached 500 words? Count, Mr. Avery replies. His eyes drop to the phone I'm still holding. And hand that over, Miss Royas. Doesn't the fact that you're confiscating my phone twice give you pause? Who has 2 phones? I ask. Nate grins. So quick I almost miss it. Seriously, Mr. Avery, someone is playing a joke on us. Mr. Avery's snowy mustache twitches in annoyance, and he extends his hand with a beckoning motion. Phone, Miss Royas? Unless you want a return visit. I give it over with a sigh as he looks disapprovingly at others. The phones I took from the rest of you earlier are in my desk. You'll get them back after detention. Addie and Cooper exchange amused glances, probably because their actual phones are safe in their backpacks. Mr. Avery tosses my phone into a drawer and sits behind the teacher's desk, opening a book as he prepares to ignore us for the next hour. I pull out a pen, tap it against my yellow notepad, and contemplate the assignment. Does Mr. Avery really believe that technology is ruining schools? That's a pretty sweeping statement to make over a few contraband phones. Maybe it's a trap. Maybe he's looking for us to contradict him instead of agree. I glance at Nate, who's bent over his notepad writing "computers suck" over and over and over in big block letters. It's possible I'm overthinking this. Okay, that is where we're going to stop today. So the next section of the book is about Cooper's point of view. And thanks for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed reading this with me. And if you're interested to see where the story goes, come to the library and check it out. Thanks, guys.